Hi there BookTube, it's Eleanor here, and I've decided I'm really struggling. I'm slumpy, I don't want to read anything, I don't know, I'm just not feeling it. So I've decided, controversially, when you're in a bit of a reading slump, to take part in a readathon. The Contemporaryathon is coming up, round 6, starting on the 10th, and I've decided I'm going to take part, and maybe this will help me sort of kickstart a little bit. I am sort of veering towards more contemporary books. That's what I'm sort of feeling at the moment, so I'm going to try the Contemporaryathon. I'm going to show you the books now that I'm planning on reading, and we'll see how I get on. So the Contemporaryathon, if you didn't know, is run by the lovely Chelsea at Chelsea Darling Reads, Natasha from My Reading is Odd, and Julie from Pages and Pens. And yeah, this is round 6, so there is 7 prompts. I have picked 7 books. I'm going to keep it pretty chill though, so if I don't manage them all, I'm not going to hurt myself about it. But I'm just going to try my best and just get stuck into some reading and really try to just get back into reading. Something is, I mean, it's not that I'm not reading, don't get me wrong. I'm reading quite a lot of graphic novels, and I'm listening to quite a lot of non-fiction audio for the BookTube prize. But I think my brain just hasn't attached itself to many fiction books this year that I've really loved or really wanted to read. So maybe this will help. So the first challenge here is to read a contemporary book with green on the cover. So for that I've picked The Other Side of Lost by Jessie Kirby. This is about a girl who is very big on social media. She's got a really big following, and yet it's very, wow, what's the word? False, I suppose. I mean, it is just that sort of Instagram idea that we all look at Instagram and think everyone's life is perfect, and actually you're just seeing what people want you to see. I mean, just like these videos, there's days where I'm grumpy as hell and I'm shouting at people, there's days where I'm mean, there's days where I'm great, you know. It just, everybody has different things. There's days I'm happy, I'm sad, but I don't necessarily portray that out onto social media all the time because of the type of videos I make. They're not lifestyle videos, so people don't necessarily know what's going on. And so she's got all these followers, and yet in real life she hasn't got many friends at all. So one day she takes to social media after a birthday where she has been all alone, and she tells the truth to her followers, and then she really does want to sort of get away from it all and just be away somewhere else. A load of hiking gear appears on her in her front door in a box, and I think her and some cousins or some people had always planned to do this particular walking trail, and so off she goes. And yeah, it just sounds like a really interesting read. It's sort of very current with this sort of social media idea, and it is very green on the cover. For the next book, I decided to read a book that was sent to me in a book box recently, and the prompt is to read a contemporary from a new to you author. And so for that I've picked up this one, which is Foul is Fair by Hannah Capin. This sounds really interesting and quite dark. It says, in the morning I put on makeup, go to the salon. An old lady gives me new nails, looks at the bruises on my neck and scratches across my face and doesn't say anything. I point at my hair and I say, this colour. You know what it's called? She shakes her head. No. I say, revenge. Jade Kanjara and her best friends rule their glittering LA circle. They decide how the party ends every night but one. Now there's no mercy left, and the girls won't rest until they get bloody satisfaction. So I think this is going to be interesting and a bit different and a bit dark. So I'll see how I feel about this one. The next prompt is to read a diverse book, and I've picked this one. It's quite new to my shelf. It's quite a new book in general, but it just sounds very interesting. It's All American Muslim Girl by Nadine Jolie Courtney. This book centres around a young girl who is caught between two worlds. I believe she's brought up in she is a Muslim household, but not one that is necessarily practicing, and also she has this sort of very close-knit group of friends. She's a straight-A student. She's dating a really popular guy, and yet she hasn't told this guy that she's Muslim. His father is the most famous conservative shock jock, and she starts seeing a lot more Islamophobia around her town and decides that perhaps she needs to stand up for her religion, stand up for what she believes in. So I think this is going to be hard-hitting and quite current, really, looking at what it is to be a Muslim teenager in a place where people are suspicious all the time. Yeah, I think this is going to be good. The next prompt is to read a book, a backlist contemporary that's been on your shelf for over a year. This one could have been years, I can't remember now. It is You Against Me by Jenny Downham. Now I think there's a bit of a theme going on with a lot of these books. This one is about a girl whose sister has said that a boy, sorry, whose sister has claimed that a boy has assaulted her, and then it's about a girl who is the sister of the boy that has been accused, and it's about this brother and sister, so not the people directly accused, you know, the accused and the accusee, but their siblings who meet, and then I think there is some sort of romancy relationship and how that works, and all of the stuff that's going on around that. So I think that sounds really interesting to me, and it has been on my shelf for ages. When did this one come out? Let's have a look. I think this was a 2010 release. Yeah, I think this was published first in 2010, so it's quite an old one, but definitely one that I want to get to. So for a dark, hard-hitting contemporary, I'm going for this one, which is Meat Market by Juno Dawson. I've had a mixed relationship with Juno's books. I really enjoyed, but I really thought Clean was a really good book, but there have been other Juno Dawson books which I haven't got on with so much. This one I'm hoping is going to be more in the vein of Clean. It seems much more contemporary, less sort of ghostly and in that way, and this is looking at the sort of underbelly of the fashion industry. So it's about a girl, she's constantly sort of picked on for being sort of androgynous looking, but then is sort of catapulted to stardom when she's discovered as a model. And this is looking at sort of, like I say, the darker and seedier side of the fashion industry, and I think this one's going to be hard-hitting and interesting in a world that I know nothing about. Prompt number 6 is to read a book with an illustrated cover, and this one is one that I need to read. It's been on my list forever and a day. It's The Female of the Species by Mindy McGuinness. This has illustrated pictures on the front, and again I feel like we're following a bit of a theme. This is about Alex. 3 years ago her older sister Anna was murdered and the killer walked free, and this is talking about trusting people and her darker nature coming out, and how she's dealt with that, and a boy, and final year at school, maybe senior year. So I think this sounds brilliant, and again there's a lot of assault and rape going on in these books. Maybe that's what I need to read at the moment, I don't know, but I've picked this one because it has an illustrated cover. The final prompt is to read a contemporary that is beloved by people in the community. Well, this one I've picked up because I wasn't sure what to pick actually, and I've got quite a few, and I tend to pick up a lot of books on recommendation from BookTube, so it's a bit difficult because a lot of my books are sort of beloved, but this particular one I think showed up on quite a lot of best of 2019 books, so I think that makes it worth a read, and that is The Bookish Life of Nina Hill by Abby Waxman. This is about a girl who works in a bookstore. She's really happy with her life. It's just her, and she's got cats, I think, and she just loves a good book and reading, and she loves her job. And then this father she didn't know existed dies and leaves her with numerous siblings that she didn't know existed, and it's sort of working out how she goes about finding out about these siblings and how that changes her life, and how it changes sort of who she probably feels she is, having not known. And it says in the front, like a conversation with the funniest person you know, just lovely. And I've heard great things, and I think it'll be a really good contemporary for the readathon. So a big old stack of 7 books to try and get through in the week. Will it happen? Probably not. Will I give it a good shot? Yes, because I really need to get out of this slumpity slump. So yeah, these are the books, and I'll look forward to letting you know how I get on with a wrap up at the end of the week. Bye for now, BookTube.